Hey, gang, welcome back to another Glendemonium podcast. Okay, so it's been a while since I did one of these. I've been preoccupied lately. I'm not going to say what, but I don't want to come off as making another excuse. So, anyway, today's subject, I'm actually going to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog. There's a new game out called Sonic Mania. Basically, it's a 16-bit throwback to the Genesis Sonic with some. I guess he took some modern levels. I haven't bought it yet. I'm waiting until my next paycheck. But I think there's some modern levels that the creators redid, and it's not done by Sega. It's published by Sega, but it's actually done by a small community of Sonic fan game creators. Chris, I think is it Chris Whitehead? And there's also a composer who's been a pretty big deal. I could have sworn I've heard a composer on the OC Remix website a while back. But anyway, these guys all just came together, and I don't know how it went together. I need to find the history on that, but I think Sega either came to them or they came to Sega and said, "Hey, would you like to make a game with our franchise?" Because I guess if you've been living under the rock in the game community, Sonic the Hedgehog has been having a really dodgy reputation lately. Compared to Mario, nobody seems to give Mario flack except for lately people are saying that, a lot of the new Super Mario Brothers games are pretty stagnant, where Sonic has always been this more experimental character. And like a lot of the modern Sonic games, they did a lot of experimenting. They had some hits and misses. Like, I guess Sonic Generations and Sonic Colors were among the most better of the games, whereas Sonic 06, Sonic Riders, and the two Wii Sonic games, which I didn't think they were that bad. They said they was probably the worst of his outings. But see, I rarely touch some of the modern games because I guess I sort of phased out of the Blue Hedgehog for a while. But I don't know what it is about the 16-bit stuff. I like it. Because I actually did own a Sega Genesis growing up. But of course, I didn't own it for very long. I handed it over to my sister after a while. But I don't remember what we did after that. Either we sold it or got rid of it. But anyway, um, I don't know. I guess this is part of me kind of admitting that I wish I paid attention more to the franchise, because I did own a Dreamcast at some point, so I got to play both Sonic Adventure games, which I thought were okay, but man, those games did not age well. At least the first one didn't age well. And I know there's a following with the whole Sonic Adventure people, because I've noticed that the Sonic fandom is split between the people who grew up and played the 16-bit Genesis games, the people who grew up and played the Dreamcast era games, and then you got the people that grew up with Sonic 06. Although at least it's universal that Sonic 06 is pretty bad. I mean, it had a lot of great game-breaking bugs, but games like Shadow and Sonic Riders, and Sonic Colors, Sonic Unleashed. A lot of people like that. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with Sonic Unleashed. I mean, yeah, the Werehog levels are pretty but I can at least respect Sega for trying to experiment. Oh, and Sonic, I can't forget Sonic 4. Of course, a lot of people will. Honestly, I didn't think Sonic 4 was that bad, but I can see where the complaints lie in, because it felt like a 3D Sonic game that just looks 2D. And I guess they were trying to cash in on the whole new Super Mario Brothers type of look, where it's 3D but it plays 2D. But there was a lot of sluggish and slowdown. Whereas Sonic Mania, it's basically just classic gameplay. Where there's no speed boosters. There's no where Sonic uncurls as he's in midair. Because in older Sonic games, you stay as a ball. That's your main means of attack. Your jumping is your attack, where even if you're like sliding up a slope, you don't uncurl because it leaves you open to get hit by something. But one of the things that really got me interested in playing Sonic games was the music. I don't know, the Sonic games always had an awesome soundtrack. Sonic 1 was, I mean, I played Sonic 2 before I played Sonic 1. When I played Sonic 2, I think I've had most of the tracks stuck in my head when I was going to school. I was a teenager when this stuff was coming out. So, I pretty much dated myself already admitting this. But Sonic 1 didn't have a whole lot of memorable tracks, except for maybe Scrap Brain and I think Marble Zone. Marble Zone was kind of weird. That was one where it was like more, it was more slow down. There wasn't a lot of running involved. Um, I actually also got a chance to play Sonic CD, and it was on PC. And I got the American version with the creepy boss theme. Not the work that sucker to death. I wanted a Sonic CD with the rap song when you fight Robotnik. Not creepypasta Robotnik. I want work that sucker to death Robotnik. But unfortunately, the PC version did not have that. Um, I also got the PC version of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, where they changed all the music that was written by Michael Jackson. And yeah, that's a thing. That was a thing that I didn't even know until I was in my 20s. That Michael Jackson originally collaborated with the composers to he actually initially was brought on to compose tracks for Sonic 3, but he did not like the Genesis sound chip. He was disappointed with how the output was, so he basically abandoned the project. And then it wasn't, and this is before the scandal, his whole, sex with a kid scandal started breaking out. And then eventually Sega just dropped all ties, figuring it was for the best. But you can actually go on YouTube, and there's actual sound bites used in Sonic 3 that were used in some of Michael Jackson's later songs. Moscow was one. But the Ice Cap one, someone assumed it was for Michael Jackson, but it's actually another band entirely. And I just looked this up the other day, and I forgot what that band was called. But you can actually go on YouTube, and there's actually all that information, and it's actually really cool. And this is why I always thought Sonic 3 had a really kick-ass soundtrack. And people might give me crap for playing the games like, yeah, games for babies. But no, dude, I'm sorry, but compared to Mario, Sonic had the better music, which kind of which kind of makes me wonder. Like the Genesis, a lot of games did not have a lot of good sounds. The Genesis sound, everything sounds like it's either spits or sputters, and but I guess a lot of Sega ports always end up having inferior music. But I'll give Genesis the credit that some of their games were more unique. Like back when I was a teenager, X Men was a pretty big deal. We had the X Men cartoon on Fox. I remember always watching X Men. Because I wanted to watch Wolverine. Wolverine was the '90s character marketed to gullible young boys who wanted X Men to be ruthless and badass. He wasn't the leader, but he was the most popular. Like nobody really liked Cyclops. And so now you get these new X Men continuities where Wolverine's the leader and Cyclops is the second in command, getting himself drunk because he never got to marry Jean Grey for some reason. But the X Men games on the Genesis was actually pretty cool. Okay. There's another, and Genesis actually had some pretty unique Sonic games. That's what I will say about Sega as a company is at least they wanted to try something new. I mean, yeah, I was more of a Nintendo guy for bias reasons because Nintendo had all the third parties with them. Where Genesis, like they barely got a Mega Man game, they barely got a Castlevania game, they got a Ninja Turtles game, which is basically it's not even a port of Turtles in Time. It's actually a whole new story with a few unique levels. I actually got to play it, and I thought it was pretty cool. So you do get some unique experiences on Sega systems. And it's just too bad that they didn't do very well in the console market. Nintendo just destroyed them. Nintendo basically dominated, but it wasn't actually no. Nintendo dominated Sega, but it was until Sony PlayStation destroyed them. Ironically, thanks to Nintendo, which is a shame. So now Sega technically kind of lives on multi-platform, but mostly through Sony begrudgingly. The Sega fans begrudgingly picking Sony's console because they didn't want anything to do with Nintendo, even though it was Sony's. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. But Sonic Mania, holy crap! Fluid 16-bit animations, kick-ass soundtrack. Now I'm going to say this: this is exactly what a lot of fans have been waiting for a very long time. We're going on what, 20 years? Yeah, 20 years. Excuse me. Had to take a drink of water. Um, Sorry, I'm having a brain fart too. Nah, I'm going online and I'm just looking at all the reviews. This is probably the best Sonic game that's ever come out in literally, I would say, ever. It feels like forever. I mean, I wouldn't dismiss colors and generations just yet because I guess there's a bit of bias where it's more the 2D Sonic levels that they praise it for. So I guess this formula is probably going to work. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another Sonic Mania in the next couple of years. I'd say the guys can take a well-deserved break and then start coming up with concepts for the next Sonic game. Maybe an official sequel, make it Sonic 5. Sonic Mania right now, I guess, is a precursor to their new game, Sonic Forces, coming out later on. And Sonic Forces is basically I want to call it Xenoverse version of Sonic because in Dragon Ball Xenoverse, excuse me, you create your own character. Well, now Sonic Forces, you get to do the same thing. You create your little animal avatar. Now, I'm gonna try not to laugh as hard, but if anybody knows how the Sonic community was back in the 2000s, somebody would take a Sonic avatar, recolor it, add a couple of stripes, and then give him all these powers and call it the original creation and slap that sucker on DeviantArt. We're gonna see a lot of those online. I remember there's a few forum goers with the like one had an orange avatar. I think it was like a Kuma the Hedgehog, and oh my gosh, oh god, there's actually one Sonic community that I remember very very well. It's basically it doesn't exist anymore because a lot of a controversy happened to one of its main curators, that Psy Guy fellow. I guess something happened about little pedophilia here and sexual harassment there, and then some of the people that this is like a whole website full of like content creators before YouTube was a thing, and the side guy was like the helm of that. Well, anyway, all that fell through, and which is kind of a shame because there's a nostalgic factor right there with the whole Fireball 20XL. Because I used to go on, that was like one of my regular sites. I like the Sonic Sprite comics. I also like Tome, the TV Tome Adventures. But the guy that does that is actually redid Tome, but he's also moved on to better things. He's a voice actor now, by the way. That guy is doing anime. He has actually done voice acting for anime and some other programs, even a couple video games. He's actually moving up in the whole world. This guy does work. Christopher Niose or Kerbifer, find that guy. Follow this guy. This guy, I can tell this guy is going to get big. He's going to get famous, probably in 5, 10 years from now. But this guy is he's going to hit it big. Keep an eye on him. As for the other creators, there's other comics that I used to read on there. There was Ruins of the Fourth Wall. Um, there's another one drawn by Big Nasty for Life or Mr. OMA. I forgot which one he went after, but a lot of those guys just vanished. But I guess after that whole scandal breakdown, I can see why, and that sucks because, like, man, nothing kills creativity more than some a-hole cracking a whip. And the guy didn't have any original bone in his body. He just had other people do that stuff for him. He had other people do the work for him and then take the credit because he just wanted to be famous. I was like, man. Anyway. But yeah, there's a nostalgic factor of the whole Fireball 20XL. I was wondering if maybe they do a reunion, but I don't see that happening. Oh well. Um, but at least the fan community's got something to rejoice with because you play as three characters: Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. I think one of the bigger complaints about the Sonic fandom, right, or not Sonic, the Sonic games, is there's too many characters. I think after Sonic Adventure came out, it all started with Sonic Adventure because you had Shadow the Hedgehog, and then you got Amy. No, is it Amy? No, Amy was actually the girl. Actually, no, it's not Sonic Adventure. I'd say they just kind of added stuff in and out, and then they just started thinking, well, everybody wants to play as these characters now, and you're just like, no. I never liked playing as Big the Cat. I never liked playing as Amy Rose. I never liked playing as a robot. I could deal with playing Shadow or even playing as Robotnik. That was actually kind of cool. But that's kind of brings your game down because it's a lot of padding. The Knuckles section of Sonic Adventure was pretty crappy too. I didn't like digging for Emerald Shards. God, I hated those levels. Um, but you're gonna get none of that in Sonic Mania. This is just good old school 2D platforming with a lot of secrets and those crazy annoying Chaos Emeralds that you gotta get. But I think there's a few hidden endings in this one. There's one that actually ties into Sonic Forces. Um, But anyway, yeah, I would say check it out. Even if you're not a Sonic fan, even if you're not a gamer, it's something that you could play. Or if you have kids, show it to your kids. Maybe they might like it. You'd be surprised. You can get it on Switch. You can get it on PS4. I think you can get it on Steam. See, and I'm coming here unprepared, and I'm doing a blog about it. But I guess I wanted to blog about me growing up with the Hedgehog, and I want to see Sonic do a lot better. I mean, I know a lot of people are afraid that the modern games are going to see a bit of a backlash. Like people are kind of leery with Sonic Forces. They're gonna because if that game doesn't do well, don't be surprised if you're going to see a lot more 2D sprite-based Sonic games in the future. But I don't think Sega is just going to give up on modern Sonic because I mean, yeah, Sonic Boom, it the cartoon's doing good. I don't watch the cartoon, but I see a lot of memes on Twitter, so it's doing something right. But the game itself wasn't really that good. It was a too drastic of a change for the characters. Like they basically took way too much influence from the Archie comics. Speaking of which, I guess the end of the Archie comics. I actually own the very first comic, and like a dummy, I thought, this ain't gonna sell. I think I trashed it when I was like 16 or 17. When I was a teenager, just I couldn't have anything geek related aside from a video game console in my presence because I don't know what it is. I grew up with some real dorks around. I mean, I was a dork for nerdy reasons, but other people were like giving me crap for liking things that were considered nerdy and for babies. Like Sonic, people actually thought Sonic was meant for babies. Why? But then again, I grew up in Kingman, so people think that doing drugs and smoking cigarettes and driving fast cars and okay, I'm not going to knock dating because I understand. I understand. I grew up around women too. I just I had bad luck with women, but I wasn't cool. When people found out that I liked video games maybe just a little too much, I wasn't cool. So I remember going to like the video store. It's like, oh, dude, Sonic 3 is out, and I remember my mom's like, Glenn, you're a grown man. You should be playing those games. And yet, 10 years from then, all those type of moms are going to sit on the phone playing Candy Crush and thinking, yeah, these are just games too. But they're mobile phone games. They're more sophisticated. Or it's like when Farmville or all those stupid Facebook games got popular. You had like your wives or your aunts, your uncles, your moms are all playing Facebook games. But at least it kept them out of your hair for a little while until they started asking you for money to buy the in-app purchases. But anyway, oh man, I'm actually can't wait to try this out. The reason why I haven't bought it yet is because I basically went full retard and paid a whole bunch of bills a little earlier than usual because I figured, why not pay these? And then I figured Sonic Mania was going to come out towards the end of this month, but it actually came out like on the 15th. I was like, crap. So I wanted to be a little conservative with my money right now. But then next paycheck, I'm definitely going to pick it up and get a PSN card. I don't have Switch. I wanted to buy it on a Switch, but I don't have a Nintendo Switch right now. But that's fine. That whole platform loyalty thing that used to plague me for a long time, I don't care anymore. I got a PS4. That's all I need. I don't even have a PS4 Pro. I'll just play it on PS4 because I'm a controller guy anyway. Me and handhelds, we just don't mix. But um, anyway, I guess I'm gonna end it here. I thought I'd have more to talk about, but I guess I just wanted to get this out in the open because it's been boiling in my mind all day. But yeah, Sonic Mania. It's out right now. Buy it, play it, love it, and let me know what you think in the comments below. And this is Glendemonium, and I will see you next time. Take care now.